Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Samantha and I make videos on minimalism, productivity and my no-buy, low-buy lifestyle. So today I wanted to share with you my 9 tips on how to remain productive during lockdown or quarantine as they're calling it in America. We've been in lockdown for about 3 weeks now in London and the UK. And initially I found the first few days quite difficult, but I have settled into a really good routine, I think, and I have been very productive and actually more productive than I have been previous to lockdown, which has been really good for me. My first tip is to make sure you shower. It's so easy to let personal hygiene fall by the wayside. You're not seeing that many people, you're not going out, maybe not exercising as often, so you're not sweating up a storm. So really showering can kind of fall by the wayside, but try and be disciplined about it. Take a shower every day, if not every other day, and just upkeep your personal grooming habits. It will make you feel good, it will make you feel set up for the day. My second tip kind of actually rolls into that, and that's to up your game when it comes to the clothes that you wear at home. Make sure your loungewear doesn't have any rips, that it looks fairly decent. Obviously, you're not going to be wearing jeans or your outside clothes, and you might not want to do your full face of makeup and hair, but try and look decent. It will make you feel better and it will make you feel a lot more put together and ready for the day. My third tip is to focus on a long-term project. Even if you are one of the lucky ones who are able to work from home, you'll still probably find that you have a lot more time on your hands. So try and focus on something that you've always wanted to do. So for example, if you wanted to learn a new language, or if you wanted to learn a new instrument or improve on a skill that you have already, just use this gift of time that lockdown has given us to really focus on those things. Obviously, a lot depends on your personal circumstances. Some people have lost their jobs and they're in a different kind of mental state right now. But if you are lucky enough to just have to stay at home and kind of work from home and your life hasn't been disrupted too much, then really focus on using your time effectively. For me personally, this is translated into making more videos on YouTube. Alongside this channel, I have a main channel called London City Girl, and that focuses on educational videos. I cover a range of topics on there, from science videos to political videos to film analysis videos, and those videos actually take a really long time because I need to research, I need to animate, I need to put a lot of things together for those videos. Each one of them can take up to a month to do, and so I've been using the time in lockdown to really focus on longer and meatier, chunkier projects that I've been wanting to upload on there for a while. My fourth tip is to make a to-do list in the beginning of the day and make sure to include everything in there. So your chores, the stuff for you that you might have for work, the stuff that you have for your own personal projects, any leisure time. Just try and break up your day. It doesn't have to be super exact. You don't have to write it to the hour, but if you have a rough guideline, a rough framework, or if you think to yourself in the morning, okay, what can I do today that will make me feel accomplished, that will make me feel productive, and then just go on from there and make your to-do list from there. It'll make you feel really good. Even if you don't finish your to-do list, you might do 2 or 3 things on the list, but it will still make you feel really good. My fifth tip is to exercise and get out there and get some fresh air if you're allowed to. Some lockdowns are more severe than others. In the UK, we're still allowed to go to our local park and to exercise, but to really be vigilant about keeping that social distance from other people. I personally haven't been going out to the parks or anything because I do think the government would prefer you to stay in, so I've just been going out to the garden. The weather's improved a lot, so I'm just sitting in the garden having my lunch or my breakfast there. Has been really nice, just taking the time to appreciate nature. I'm not a very outdoorsy kind of girl anyway, so this is the tip that I find the hardest to do, but once I am outside I really enjoy it and I do feel really refreshed. My sixth tip is to not be so hard on yourself. So if you aren't able to be super productive, it's okay. It's not a race. Life isn't a race, it's a marathon. Although this video is talking about productivity, you might not be able to be productive straight away. Life has changed so much. We are going through a big period of upheaval. So if you're not able to get up and get at them straight away, don't be hard on yourself. Take things in your stride. So for example, one of the things for me is that I've not been able to upload as frequently on this channel as I might like. I've just had to kind of deal with it and roll with the punches. Obviously, I'm going to still make videos on this channel, but it has been more difficult because, you know, I'm working on my other YouTube channel, I'm adjusting to working from home. There are so many people in the house right now. So it's just a different routine, and it's taking a while to just get used to it, to get used to my new normal. My seventh tip is to try and look on the bright side. Now, this is specifically for people who, like me, are able to work from home or who've been furloughed but they know that they have some kind of job security and things haven't changed so dramatically in their life. If you're one of those people, then really try not to become too anxious about what's going on. Appreciate the fact that you have so much more time. Use it constructively. Be grateful for what you have. And my 8th point is going to be for the people who are going to really struggle. It looks like there's going to be a recession. If you've lost your job, it's going to be difficult. I mean, nobody can pretend that it's not going to be difficult. But maybe you can now use this time to regroup and think about what you really want out of your life. Is the life before you had the life that you really wanted? If not, then how are you going to change it moving forward? This lockdown has put a lot of things into perspective for me, and I think it must have done the same for so many people. Think about what's really important in your life, what will make you happy. Things like status and money and all of this stuff, I think for a lot of people it's just gone by the wayside, and they've realized that they want to go back to a more simple life and to really appreciate all the things around them. So think about your career choices. Where do you want to be? What makes you happy? If you're in university and you're worried after you graduate what kind of job market there will be, try and think out of the box. It took me ages to get to the position where I am now, and I am actually going to make a video about how to get a job in social media and the media in general. I think it took me a good 8 to 10 years to get to where I am now. I'm really happy in my current job and in my current role, and it is actually a very different discipline to what I studied at university. So just think of all the opportunities. Try and think like out of the box, as I said. Try and think creatively. If you are lucky enough to have a job, really think about building up your emergency fund. I have always been good at saving, but I never really thought that seriously about having an emergency fund, because I always thought I'm a great saver. I can rapidly save if I really need to. But then coronavirus comes along and you're like, oh my God, this is something that you cannot plan for. And okay, my industry hasn't been hit hard, but it could have been one of the industries that was hit hard. I feel so lucky, but you never know what's going to happen. So in the next 6 months, I'm really going to try and build up 6 months worth of savings for myself and Andrew to live on should anything like this ever happen again. For us, that would probably mean about $2,000 a month to be able to afford mortgage payments, bills, etc., and to not have to compromise our life too much. So I'm hoping by the next 6 months that I can save around $12,000, and I think I'm going to document that in this channel as well, so you can see how I get on. We actually have a deposit for a house saved up already. We were actually looking very seriously at buying houses before all of this happened, but I think after this, the housing market, there might be some sort of crash. So we'll see. I don't know how likely it is that we'll be moving out of my parents' house this year. I was very keen to, so was Andrew, but at the same time, we're not going to rush it if we don't really need to. So my final tip is to stay connected. And one of the great things that I've noticed on my Facebook feed is how the older generation has really now seemed to embrace technology a lot more. This has been one of my pet peeves of people in the older generation, the fact that they're sometimes, in my personal experience, can be a little bit lazy in wanting to learn new technology, and now they're being forced to. And I feel it's very important to embrace new technology, because you don't want to be left behind. Actually, we didn't have the internet when I was born, but it came in like 1995 and I was a teenager around then, or just getting into my teens. So I have known technology for longer than not known it. And then obviously younger people, they've just been brought up on technology and they know how to get to grips with things really quickly. And I do understand that it's much harder for my parents' generation, but it's really important to be able to embrace it, because otherwise, again, as I said, it cuts you off. So it's really good that people are having these Zoom parties, these video parties, really getting together and finding other ways of being together through technology rather than just wanting to meet face to face. And use the internet. Everybody's using the internet. There are so many resources out there. People are pumping out free resources here, there, and everywhere. You really don't need to feel alone. Reach out, find communities, and reach out to your family and friends and even strangers if you need to, and just stay connected until all this is over. So guys, that brings me to the end of this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel that these tips are helpful and you can implement some of them in your daily life. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!